everyone. Welcome. I am so happy to have you here today to talk about content. I'm just thrilled to be here with a fantastic group of panelists to talk about absolutely one of my favorite subjects of all time, which is content. I've been with Commission Junction for about 7 years now, and I've worked on both the publisher and the advertiser side of the business. And now I've had the pleasure of working with a fantastic product team. And we've been working hard to develop some exciting content innovations that we're going to share with you all today. So before we get started, I am dying to introduce you guys to my best friend. She's an absolutely amazing woman, and her name's Joanna Goddard. She's a former writer turned blogger who lives in New York City with her charming husband, Alex, and 2 sons. Now, I have a little confession to make. I've never actually met Joanna in person, but I feel extremely connected to this woman and inspired by her. And who knows, if she lived in Santa Barbara, maybe we could be best friends. But I faithfully go to her blog each and every week, A Cup of Joe. And I can't wait to see where she's traveled, what recipes she's shared with me, and to see if she's got any hot fashion or home decorating tips for me. And she takes these beautiful photographs that really help tell a fantastic story that keeps me coming back for more. And she's also one of the best-in-class content publishers that works in Commission Junction that's really helping advertisers cut through the media clutter and influence shoppers. So how big is the content opportunity? There are over 634 million websites on the internet today. 50% of US web bloggers or internet users will go to blogs this year for information. And that number's going to jump up to around 60% next year in 2014. But I love this quote from Eric Schmidt. I think he really sums it up nicely. He's the former CEO of Google. Every 2 days, we generate as much information as we have done from the dawn of civilization up to 2003. Now that is a tremendous amount of content. We've literally come from a world where a handful of publishers controlled most of the information to a world where anyone with an internet connection can now have a voice. And as far as online shopping is concerned, research shows that online shoppers are 60% through the buying journey before reaching out to a brand for help or advice and input on what they might buy. So it's now more important than ever that we use the affiliate channel to form really strong content partnerships. All right, this is Sally McGraw, and she is one of the many publishers we talked to get input on our 2013 content solutions. And Sally's got a problem. She found an amazing blue top that she was really excited about blogging about, and she went to the CJ interface, and she spent over 15 minutes trying to find that same blue top. She actually gave up. She said, forget it. I'm going to blog about something else. This is too difficult. We spoke to another publisher. His name's Greg Cox. And he works with Angie. And Angie is the founder and stylist on youlookfab.com. Now, he's got a problem as well. Angie is not the most technically savvy person. He needs a tool for her to easily discover and find great products and then put those products into widgets that are aesthetically pleasing for their site. And last but not least, we spoke to another Greg, Greg Madison. Greg's a great guy. He is super passionate about writing custom travel content with his wife. And he really wants to remove all the friction and noise from the affiliate channel and just get relevant travel offers and get paid competitive rates for all the time and effort he's putting into coming up with his custom content. So I am absolutely thrilled to announce that engineers, product managers, and a lot of dedicated, passionate people at Commission Junction have spent a lot of time and effort coming up with some great innovations that solve all 3 of these publisher problems. The first thing that we did, because we heard it from a lot of publishers, including Karen over there, that we needed a deep linking tool for publishers. So we created the deep link generator. So Sally no longer has to log into the interface to get a deep link. She can now create a deep link to that blue shirt in seconds without having to log into the interface at all. And what's great about this tool is we went above and beyond what's already in the marketplace, and we added some additional functionality, including the fact that publishers can encrypt the link. They can choose from multiple PIDs, and they could also add an SID. So this is going to save content publishers a ton of time. The next thing we created was a product widget. So Greg Cox can give this tool to Angie, and she can search and discover great products from our advertisers in the CJ interface. And she's got a lot of options. She can create an IAB product widget sizes, or she could do a store grid. And best of all, we have a product collage option that will totally match the look and feel of their high-end content fashion site. And this product will be available in September. It's also got product reporting, and it's so much fun to use. It's totally addicting. It's drag and drop functionality, so I can't wait for you guys to try it out. And last but not least, we've got a solution for Greg Matthias. He can now become a certified content publisher and be part of our Content Certified program, where he is pre-approved from offers from relevant certified travel advertisers at competitive rates. This is going to help remove that noise and friction, and it's also going to help us go outside the network to recruit best-in-class publishers and bring them in. All right, so we've talked a little bit about what Commission Junction's doing to support content. I think it'd be really valuable to talk to some great publishers and advertisers to learn a little bit more about what they're doing in the channel. Why don't we go through the line? Karen, starting with you, just introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your business.
Okay, I'm Karen Hoxmeyer. I am the founder and owner of mybargainbuddy.com. It's a deal site that I started back in 1999, predates blogs. Adopted the blog format because it's an easier way to run a website for me. And I'm also the COO of For Me to Coupon, and we aggregate deals from the affiliate channel and provide those in a data feed for our clients. So lots of content there too.
Hi guys, I'm Angela Lyda. I manage the global affiliate program from TripAdvisor. TripAdvisor is, for those of you guys who don't know, we're the world's largest travel site. We allow travelers to plan and have the perfect trip. We have over 100 million reviews and opinions on hotels and restaurants and attractions. And all of our content is user-generated by our travel community. So, I mean, we have a ton of content. We're big fans of the content space. And I'm excited to share a little bit about how we work with content publishers in the affiliate channel.
My name is Leanne Grant, and I work at Pop Sugar, which is a content and commerce site focused on women. And I run business development for ShopStyle, which is our social commerce platform.
Great. Hi, I'm Jenny Crosby, and I'm with Intuit. I manage both the TurboTax and Quicken affiliate programs, and very excited to be here.
And I'm Mike Christensen with Prosperant. We're an affiliate tool provider. We help with the content experience by providing dynamic ads and an API and other product-based and coupon-based widgets that you can integrate into your pages.
Perfect. I'm glad we got that right. Now everyone knows who you are. So Karen, dying to ask you a question about mommy bloggers, because in the US, nearly 4 million mommy bloggers share tips on raising kids and saving money. And since you are a blogger, can you speak a little about the influence you have and the bond with your established readers?
Absolutely. So when you're sharing your daily life of, you know, my kid did this today, and this is what I made for dinner, and all the problems and things that moms go through, it creates an instant bond with people who are like you and experiencing the same things. So it's more of a friendship and a recommendation when you talk about brands and products and services. So you're not actually selling to people, you're telling your friend, hey, I got this great deal, you should check out this store, and it's a lot more credible than, you know, door-to-door salesmen selling vacuum cleaners.
That's great. And I know, like you mentioned to me, it's almost like eye candy. Like you do a post, and I swear these women don't even know they need to buy something.
Right. So my site, My Bargain Buddy, basically I just go out and I find great deals, and it's like candy at the checkout. You don't wake up knowing that you need a toaster, but you go to My Bargain Buddy and you see a toaster, it's $5 and it's shipping for free. Well, you're going to go buy 10. And you're going to put them in your closet and save them for gifts or whatever. You have toasters for a lifetime.
And I know there's some other people on this panel, maybe not toasters, but like, have had connections and have worked with bloggers. I don't know if you guys have any other input on the power of blogging and their influence?
Yeah, I can talk to that. So at ShopStyle, we have a program called ShopSense, which is a network of 3,000 fashion and beauty bloggers who use our links and these great tools that we created for them to write about products they love and stores they love and brands they love. And we've seen a lot of growth organically, not only in kind of the number of bloggers who are using the platform and are getting excited about affiliate links and making money through affiliate, but also just kind of the volume of orders that they can drive. It's really amazing to look at these young bloggers who are right out of college, and they're making a living and they're making a career out of it. And they're turning the career into something, not just affiliate links, but also kind of big collaborations with the brands and the retailers, and we help facilitate that connection. So, I mean, I actually know that I personally, like a couple weeks ago, Labor Day, I wanted to go shopping, and I didn't know what I wanted to buy, but I was like, I need to spend money. So I went to one of my favorite blogger sites, and she had listed out her favorite sales for the Labor Day weekend, and she also said, I'm buying this and this and this. And it was a really great way for me to be like, okay, I know I love this store, I don't know what I want to buy, but this is what she's buying. And I think back to what Sarah was saying earlier in terms of like, you think you're kind of friends with them, and you're like, oh, that's great advice, I like your style, I would like that too.
Great. All right, and another question before because Leanne, you guys do an amazing job of influencing a lot of people. Like it's over 450 million in retail sales this past year for ShopStyle. How do you guys balance content and commerce to really keep over 20 million unique visitors coming back for more? And you mentioned the purchasing power. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah, definitely. So if you guys aren't familiar with Pop Sugar, there's a lot of men in the audience, so you might not be visiting our site daily. I'll just kind of give you a quick background. So Pop Sugar was started in 2006 by Brian and Lisa Sugar. They're a husband and wife team. And Lisa Sugar just loved celebrities. She loved writing about them, reading about them. She felt like there wasn't a great place for women online to read about celebrities. So she started blogging in her free time. And Brian had always been kind of an entrepreneur, and he'd actually helped start e-commerce at J.Crew. So he kind of always understood technology and commerce. And so they decided to turn her little blog into a full-time job and a full-time company. And it was a media company at first, but soon after they spotted this startup called ShopStyle, which was kind of this beautiful shopping experience for women. And I think because Brian had been at J.Crew, understood like the power of affiliate, the power of commerce, and so quickly acquired ShopStyle. So we've kind of grown up over the past 7 years as a true content and commerce company together. And so we're always kind of balancing the two sides of the company. So on the content side, we have 80 full-time editors writing about everything a woman loves and it's getting inspired by. So food and fitness and fashion and shopping and celebrities and moms and all of that. And then ShopStyle is kind of where people buy what they love. So on the content side, we think it's really important for the editors to remain authentic and write about things organically. So they're not ever influenced by the affiliate side of the business. If they love what shoes Kate Middleton's wearing and they happen to be from Nordstrom, they'll link to that. If they want to write about their favorite sales for the weekend, they'll do that. They'll make slideshows, they'll do streetwear at Fashion Week, et cetera. But they don't have access to how those links perform, what our top retailers are, et cetera. It's really organic and it's an authentic voice. And that, I think, has helped us grow the audience on that side of the business because they're writing about what they love and that's what our readers love. On the ShopStyle side, as Sarah was saying earlier, last year we influenced about $450 million in retail sales. And that's all through kind of our search network. So for a long time, kind of the search experience was kind of purely commerce. It was, you go there, you type in Christian Louboutin black pumps, you see that there are options from Louis Severe Roma and from Nordstrom and from Barney's, et cetera, and then you go and you buy. But we've experimented a lot with kind of integrating content into the commerce experience. And you have to do it in a very authentic way. And what we've found that has actually started to work really well for us is something we launched a couple months ago, and that's called our featured shops. And so what that is it's taking our great search experience, which we've worked hard on building out the technology for, where users can come and they search for the products that they love and the size they wear and the price they can afford and the color they want and all of that. And our consumers would always say, we love the search experience, but what if you don't know what you want? Like, what if you, or if you don't know, you search for maxi dress and there's 100,000 options. So we introduced featured shops, which are curations of the search experience. So it's our editors going and saying, okay, maxi dresses are a trend, or New York Fashion Week's coming up, or this retailer's having a sale, and it's taking the commerce and kind of editing it down. So they'll write 3-4 lines of copy about what the trend is, and then they'll pick 60 to 100 products. And that's worked really well, kind of bringing a little bit of content into commerce. And we've had a lot of fun with it. We've had some guest editors come on, so celebrities. Rachel Zoe came on and she curated her shops. We've had designers come on and curate their shops, and bloggers and stuff. So it's turned into kind of this fun thing that people are excited to share their style within the shopping experience.
Great. All right. Well, I'd love to get an advertiser perspective on this. Angela, being the world's largest travel site, can you share an example of a meaningful affiliate content partnership that you've had and established with any success metrics?
Sure. So of our top 20 publishers, over half of them are actually travel content publishers. So they're a really big part of our portfolio for sure. Travel is a unique vertical where it's not a spontaneous purchase. Not that a pair of Louboutins is,
Sometimes.
but people will take 1 or maybe 2 trips a year, and they'll plan it out for at least a couple of weeks in advance. And so we really need to find those users when they're in travel shopping mode or when they're showing intent. And so for us, for TripAdvisor, we stick to travel endemic content sites, and we know that works. And I guess for publishers, I think that would be, or other advertisers, is just to stick to what you know works, and not waste time on other verticals. So having said that, we have a really successful partnership with a publisher, and I don't know if they're here, but sleeping in airports, which sounds, I know, awful because we've all been stuck in an airport and have to find a hotel. But they have awesome content around airport hotels. And so how they started working with us is they would just deep link to TripAdvisor hotels that are by the airport. And now, thanks to the new tool, the deep link generator, a lot of other content publishers can do the same. If you're in the audience, it's awesome. So it works really well. They have all of their airport hotel content, and they just deep link to a specific TripAdvisor hotel. And the conversion rates are awesome. They're over 30%. And so it's organic, kind of like what you were talking about earlier. If it just fits in organically, it's going to work. And so when we saw the success of this publisher, we reached out directly and we were asking them, do you have any feedback for us? What can we do to make this partnership even stronger? And I think as an advertiser, you just do the same thing every day and you don't really think outside the box. And the best way to think outside the box is ask publishers for feedback, because they will give it and they have tons of it, and it's just a great way to innovate. And so we asked Sleeping in Airports what they would love from TripAdvisor, and they asked for a completely new landing page dedicated to airport hotels around specific geos. So say you're going to Boston Logan Airport. She wanted a page dedicated to Boston Logan Airport hotels. We don't have that, and it takes a lot to create a new landing page. And so I brought that to our team internally, and it turns out our SEO team was looking at something similar. And so sure enough, with both teams looking for something to get off the ground, it got off the ground a little sooner. And within 3 weeks, we had a new landing page. Brought it back to Sleeping in Airports. She was thrilled and executed it into her site, and her volume increased by 25%, which is awesome because, if you have a new product, you hope for 2 or 3% increase in sales, and 25% was amazing. So the feedback from publishers is so invaluable. So just always ask an advertiser, because you never know what can happen.
Perfect. And Jenny, I'd love to get your input on this, because TurboTax has kind of taken a different approach with content in the channel.
Yep.
So can you explain what you guys have been doing?
Yeah, so for TurboTax, we actually created a personalized content strategy through the use of creating tax centers. And what we did is we actually reached out to our existing publisher partners and picked a couple that we could work with to actually, number one, create custom articles with them directly. And then second, also work with some of the great CJ content partners that are already in the network to take our own videos and our own articles and actually embed them on those tax centers with affiliate tracking. And we found that was really successful. Our goal was really to enhance the customer experience and really give them a reason to interact with us and also answer their questions before they even got started, thinking about their taxes. And with the content articles, those were custom, and I think what was so successful about them is we actually had the publishers directly interview some of our tax experts, and so they were able to ask the questions that were most relevant to their site visitors rather than us just telling them, hey, this is what we want you to talk about, et cetera. It was really getting their perspective because they know their customers even better than we do. So that's what we did kind of with the tax center, and the end result was that we saw on the sites that we tested this with that the engagement with our brand really increased. We actually saw like huge year-over-year performance increases on site visitors just even searching for our brand on those publisher sites. And we did test with a couple loyalty partners. We thought that was a great way to engage with people earlier in the funnel, and we already know that a customer who goes to a loyalty site is already very loyal to that site, and so we wanted to start having discussions with them and add some type of value before it was time to actually do your taxes. And so that's we built our own strategy around using this tax center concept to really add value, and not only to the customer but also to the publisher without just dictating the content that was there.
Perfect. And I know Mike, Jenny just described a situation that was where they created custom content for publishers, so it was very individual. But I know Prosperant really provides content tools at scale. Can you talk a little about those tools and how they really help influence shoppers and provide great results for advertisers?
Sure. So we're on the technology side of content. Our job is to really understand the sentiment of the conversation on page, whether it's the content itself that has been written or any comments below the fold that have been discussed about the initial conversation. So what our tools do is they analyze that content and then show the most relevant products inside of a display ad, either on the sidebar or at the top or within the content itself. But we're always developing new tools that create a more seamless experience for our publishers. So if you're looking to really display specific products or specific products from specific merchants, that's something that you can do with Prosperant. Similar to some of the tools you guys are working on, this is stuff we've been developing over the last 4 years. On the other front, we're also developing tools that create a more interactive video experience. So if you've done a video review, we have technology that overlays on top of that video and creates a way to explain in depth the product that you're reviewing and the ability, of course, to buy it. So our main mission is really to create seamless product experiences within your content that doesn't detract from the content itself and really just adds value, but guides your visitors towards a buying decision.
Perfect. All right. So I've asked you guys individual questions. I now have a question for the group. We've discussed how content can really influence users and result in generating leads. I'd like to ask you guys on the panel, any advice for advertisers in the audience of how to create a successful marketing strategy in the affiliate channel? Who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
Okay.
Something that we do at TripAdvisor, which I think is partially the reason that we're so successful, is we test all the time. Each team at TripAdvisor, there's lots of teams, and every team is doing at least 5 to 10 tests a week on something. And so I have taken that approach into the affiliate space as well. And so my advice would just be to test your brains out. I use low budgets, anything from $200 to $500. You can see results. And if it doesn't work the first time, don't give up. There's a project I've been working on since February, and finally in September it started working. And it's huge, and it's going to be awesome. And so it's just don't give up. Try different creatives, different sizes, different time frames, different publishers. It will end up working. And also, just if you learn anything from a test, it's a win, right? So you learn it's not something that you should use for your brand, throw it out. Don't do it again. If it's something that worked, awesome, iterate on it and make it even better. So in testing, it's not always about winning. You're going to fail, but I think that teaches you something, and it's a win, even if you fail.
Cool. Yeah, and I would say, too, if you're just getting started in the content space, the best place to start is actually asking internally. So if you're an advertiser, more often than not, you're going to have, an SEO manager, there might be a blog team, there might be all these other resources and content that's already being created. So my recommendation would be first, start internally, ask around what content's being created. That way you can really assess, okay, what types of things are already there that I can either tweak or leverage and start to scale. And I think second would be just to really ask, okay, is there a benefit to either the publisher or the customer? And if there's not, then kind of go in a different direction. I think, I made the mistake one time of, trying to get all this great content and then just being like, here you go, publisher, you just have to cite it. And they're like, I don't want that. That's going to hurt my SEO rankings because, we need more custom stuff, or we just need to make sure that you're taking that into consideration. So, yeah, I would start there. And then to Angela's point, definitely just keep testing and find out what works. And also from just a publisher perspective, at least working with partners, I would say don't be afraid to test with some of the existing CJ content partners. I think for me, it was a little bit of a hard sell to some of my publishers in the beginning because they're like, wait a minute, you want me to put on this code on my site that essentially is making me a sub-affiliate of someone else? Like, I don't know if I'm okay with that. But at the end of the day, as long as there's a benefit to the customer, it's generally a win-win. And at least with what we've tested, we haven't seen any issues with that. So just be open to testing it is my recommendation.
Yeah.
As a publisher, I get thousands of emails a day, so if you want to reach out to a specific publisher, go and do your research, see what things they normally sell, look at the comments on their blog, see what their customers respond to, and don't chase after people that aren't going after the same demographic as you are.
Yeah, and I've heard that from so many other publishers. They're like, make that email very special. Customize it to them so they respond, because these guys are getting hundreds of emails a day.
Thousands.
Thousands? Thousands? Okay.
We get 20,000 emails a week.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I mean, you have to.
All to, yeah, well,
Yeah.
we actually made it to where each merchant has their own email with us now. So if we're working, with TurboTax, it's sent to turbotax@prosperent.com, and we check those individually now, just because it was so difficult for us to parse that many emails.
Okay.
I think to add on to that too, though, like once you identify a partner that does work well for you, so we have, certain retailers who spend a lot of money with us and we drive a lot of sales for them, and we've seen a lot of success like sitting down and brainstorming custom content partnerships together, either with their editors and our editors. We kind of like bring it outside of the affiliate space and just say like, you guys work together on sharing content, or we'll talk about like we have all this data on what people are searching for, so we'll share that with one of our top partners and talk about what we can do with that together. So we can't do that with everybody, and we know that the advertisers can't do that with everybody as well. But for the people who are working well, I think we're really excited about kind of getting creative and testing things together. So.
Yeah, and any advice for publishers from you guys of like if they're looking to get more involved in the content space and how to do it successfully?
I'd say don't be afraid to approach an advertiser. Even if
Yeah.
it's a big name, they still might want to work with you, even if you don't drive millions of dollars of sales. If your conversions are good,
Okay.
then they can catch in on that long tail. And
I mean, you
bring in
never
some-
know, because I think what these guys keep talking about, it's all about ideas and sharing information and creating that partnership. So, any other words of wisdom for publishers?
On our side, of course, we're a big data company, so we're constantly evaluating consumer trends and consumer behavior. And I think if anybody was in the keynote this morning, Damon really spoke specifically to understanding your customers. So on the Prosperent side, we're always encouraging our users to leverage our trend data and leverage our consumer analytics to understand what your visitors are truly interested in, especially on a geographic basis. You may find that the consumers in LA prefer certain types of products over consumers in New York, and it's important for you to know the difference between the two and write to that effect, especially if your audience happens to be primarily New Yorkers. So I think it's important to truly understand your visitors and write content accordingly.
And I think for publishers, from an advertiser perspective, I think we've talked about it before, but just staying really organic to your brand. So if you're a travel brand, stick to travel and make it organic. It's going to convert better down the funnel. It's just going to do better for you if it's organic to the user. And also, I harped on this before, but providing feedback. It's so helpful. It's how we innovate in affiliate marketing at TripAdvisor is we listen to publishers. So if you guys weren't providing us with feedback, I'm not saying we wouldn't innovate, but it's just so helpful. And Not every time it's not going to go through, of course, but you just never know, and I love hearing it, so don't stop giving it.
Perfect. All right, so what are some of the unique ways? The thing I love about content is I go crazy thinking about all the ideas of the ways advertisers can connect with these content publishers. And I've heard crazy stories. So do you guys have any fun, unique ways you've partnered with advertisers or publishers?
We did something creative on our UK site where we had actually our editors go on to the advertiser site and pick their shop style picks. So we lent our editorial voice or our content voice onto their site. It performed really well for the advertiser and for us. So we were kind of exchanging link backs and sharing the products on social and across the site and stuff. So that was a really fun way that we're looking into doing more.
Giveaways are really good. If you want to sponsor a giveaway on a blog.
Have you gotten gifts?
I have gotten gifts. Gifts are a lot of fun. It's always nice to open your front door and there's like a basket of brownies or something cool.
Yeah. I think I talked to one mommy blogger once, and she's like, yeah, I just got to try out a car last week. I was like, what? Like Ford was all over these mommy bloggers, so it's kind of cool. So, all right. Well, we've talked a little about what's going on now in the affiliate space. I'd love to get your guys' input on what's the future look like for content. Any exciting things coming out?
I can really speak to that a little bit. Video is what we're really looking forward to. Video and of course mobile. I know that mobile will be echoed here, no problem. But we do think that there's a lot of value in video. A lot of people do find video to be more attractive of a way of communicating than reading all of that text. Some blogs are not popular for brevity. So watching a video is much more interactive, much more engaging, which is why we started investing in technology that overlays on top of video and making that experience immersive and engaging. So I definitely think 2014 we'll see a lot of introductions of new kinds of video ideas.
Mike stole mine. Mine was video too. I think we're really excited about video because on the kind of content side, we've seen a lot of success with video. We have Pop Sugar Studios, so we have places where in our offices in LA, New York, and San Francisco where we film video all day, every day. We have a live show that airs twice a day, and we have, I think, like 14 million hours of video watched, and it's all online. We were sharing this with one of our retail partners, and she, the CEO, she was like, I don't get it. Like, are they not working? Like, why are they watching video all day? But it's really engaging, and it's worked really well for us, specifically in fitness, and we have a great fitness editor and fitness site, and beauty, and so we're kind of exploring more and more how we can do video commerce, and there are the QVCs, they might be out there, of the world, and the HSNs who have proven that video can convert in commerce, and we're testing a lot of things, and I think it's yet to be seen who can really win on the video commerce online and make video work for affiliates. It's a really expensive thing to invest in, and it's hard to do a lot of testing with, so we're working on that. We're excited to see what comes out of that.
And also mobile just keeps on growing.
Yeah.
I mean, last month, Lenovo reported they're selling more mobile devices than computers now.
Wow.
So being mobile friendly, making sure that stores track affiliate commissions on a mobile device is really important, and CJ's kind of stepping up to the plate. And
yeah, and we're doing
sure
a
that
lot
happens.
with mobile, and then also the video topic, that's one for us too. I know being on the product team, we've had many conversations like, okay, how can we make this work? Because we know it's important to everybody, and everyone's watching videos, but it hasn't been successful in the past through affiliate. So I think we can all, hopefully we'll figure it out, fingers crossed.
Agreed. I hope so too.
Yeah, any other comments on mobile? Because I know that that's a huge one, and it's something that publishers and advertisers both need to think about.
We knew mobile was going to be important when we launched the company, so we made sure that all of our products are completely responsive, and they follow the responsive design techniques. So any of our ads, our video technology, it completely scales down to a mobile screen size and stays interactive at mobile. So we're already mobile ready.
Yep.
Nice.
And I would say too, on the mobile side, just understanding When you're trying to distribute content, like what can go where. I think a lot of times, at least for advertiser account managers, we're like, oh, this is a great widget, this is perfect, we're gonna put this on mobile and here and there. And a lot of times there's just so many different rules and like the technology is different. So you have to make sure if you're building one thing, you might have to do regular HTML and you might have to have HTML5, you might have to have all the different versions because sometimes you can't, responsive design is great, but sometimes it just doesn't work. So you have to have a couple of different, make sure you understand where you're trying to push out the content to, would be my recommendation.
On mobile, we've seen some, I guess not that surprising trends, but we have a shop style app that has about 2 million downloads, and people are using it a lot, and our retailers are all integrated, and it's very similar to our desktop experience. People are searching. And we've found that people often use our favorite tool, which is the ability to just like put a little, it's like a Facebook like, you like heart a product, and they'll like them on the mobile app. And then once we started syncing those favorites to the desktop experience, we noticed that people are often browsing, picking out what they want to buy, and then going to the desktop and buying it. And so I think the lesson there is, one, just being okay with lower conversion rates on mobile. Understand it's really hard to enter like your shipping address and your credit card number on your phone, but also making it the cross-channel experience as seamless as possible so that people can interact on mobile and then purchase online.
I think on the mobile front too, we also need to do a lot more research as to what consumers are typically doing when it comes to the buying process. My hunch, and at least for me personally, I don't ever really buy on mobile. I'll do my research on mobile if I'm researching a particular product. Maybe I'm in the store, I scan a product, I want to do my research on it, but then I bookmark that for later. So the important part, of course, in a tracking sense on Commission Junction is to find a way to ensure that that follows through on the desktop. So I think there's some opportunity for some ideas that are worth talking about to track it from mobile to desktop.
Yeah, I mean, it's an important topic that we all need to be thinking about because I know right now my user experience, if I go to a site that's not enhanced for mobile, I'm out.
Right.
There's just too many options out there. So, all right. So one last question for the group. We've kind of talked about it. I truly believe that the affiliate is like a fantastic place to connect with content publishers. But why, in your opinion, is the affiliate place the best place for advertisers and publishers to connect to form meaningful content partnerships?
I can talk first. For TripAdvisor, we have over 200 million unique users every month, so we have a ton of visitors already, and so we're really heavy in retargeting, just retargeting users that have already been to our site. But what's hard for us, or harder I should say, is finding the new users, so people that haven't been to TripAdvisor, and making it work, making advertising work with those new users. And so the affiliate channel really gives us that opportunity and does it really well, because we're getting these users that maybe most likely would not have come to TripAdvisor without the publishers. And so for us, it's really invaluable because finding a way to prospect new users in a ROI positive way is really hard. And so we're big fans of the affiliate space.
Thank you.
For us, I think a lot of our retail partners start in affiliate. That's how they start working with us. And so on the content side, they're really happy, I think, with the ROI of affiliate and the reach that they get with ShopStyle and PopSugar. But then we also kind of have other options for them. So on content, it works well, as we were saying, if it's an authentic voice and our editors have control and they're going to write what they want to write about the product. But if you have a specific message you want to get across our brand, we do see value in kind of the display ads and the retargeting and all of that. But most of our retailers invest a lot more with us and are very happy with the affiliate side, and then kind of expand and look at custom videos and display ads and kind of all this fun stuff as well. So we like to kind of give them a mix of options.
I would say too, it all goes back to pay-per-performance. I know that's like super basic for this audience, but selling a test, for example, internally, I mean, it's so low risk. I mean, you're not actually paying for anything unless that action happens, right? So you should be fighting for your channel to actually get those tests pushed through internally. And I think, sometimes if you're working with a publisher and they're going to put in the time to test something new with you, I mean, you also don't know how it's going to perform. So, maybe you work something out with them where hey, it's going to take a day of your guys' time to develop this for a test. I'm okay bonusing that partner like $500 for the time. I mean, you don't know how it's going to work, but I think just really stressing the point that internally there's no reason why you can't, really push for it and sell it, because you're only going to pay. It's very low risk. You're only paying when something happens that you agree upon.
I think you made a great point there about the relationship that can be made between publishers and merchants, and in that sense, I think it's fantastic that you guys reward the amount of time that's invested, because on the publisher side, our risk really is our time, whether it's worth writing about a particular topic or whether it's worth investing thousands of dollars for technology that we're developing or whatever it is. If it doesn't pay off, it is a big amount of time lost. But in the end, it's that relationship that makes affiliate marketing so great, that we can leverage the pay-for-performance model to innovate new ideas that aren't really seen in other advertising channels. And that's why we're a big fan of performance marketing. And of course, it'll always be just a portion of advertiser budgets, but that's okay. It's a good enough portion to where it's a worthwhile endeavor.
And hopefully it'll keep going up.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so.
Also from the publisher's perspective, if you're just pulling CPA ads, you're not going to foster any kind of long-term relationships with advertisers because they're not in it for the long haul. They're in it to make a small dent in whatever kind of campaign that they're running, and then they're gone. So if you want a long-lasting, mutual relationship with an advertiser who wants you to generate sales, and it's going to help you and give you the tools that you need, the affiliate channel is the way to go.
Yeah, and I think it's great because publishers can get on the phone with these advertisers.
Oh, they're thrilled if you call them.
It's all, and I hear it's all about transparency and control as well. And I think that's why it's so exciting for content, because all of our tools and solutions provide that. You get to choose who you get to partner with and work with.
Right.
And this is just the beginning. You guys stay tuned because we're working on some exciting things. So thank you.